So I lost my business, my body's wearing out, and I have no income. Now, just one of those things could throw a person into a deep depression. But I choose to look at things in a positive way. And I truly believe that positive thinking is the difference between success and failure. If you're new to this channel, hi, I'm Tim. The first thing I do when I get up in the morning is get a cup of coffee, and while I'm drinking my coffee, I scroll through news feeds on my phone, YouTube, and it hit me, and that's why I'm making this video, is everything is so negative. You cannot, turn your phone on without seeing something really, really bad that'll, really bring you down. And, I'm kind of moving away from that a little bit. I try to look for a little more positive things, and that wasn't always the case. Back when I lost my business, I used some techniques that I learned before that. I was a little down, and I was very, very worried. I didn't think it would ever happen to me. 56 years old, I'm looking at, and my body is wore out from, over 30 years of doing the restaurant work that I did. And I didn't save up a lot of money, so we have no income, my wife and I. But again, there's things that I learned before that really helped me. And I looked at everything in a positive light. I was forced into retirement, but I look at that as a great opportunity to live the rest of my life. Heck, even the name of this channel, people could look at Tim's Last Adventure, and say, well, that's kind of defeating, that's the end. No, I don't look at it that way. It is the beginning of the rest of my life. It is my great adventure. I look at life like a book. It has chapters. Yes, I am in my last chapter, but it's going to be a beautiful chapter. And just like any book, everything comes together in the last chapter. Now, like I said earlier, I wasn't always this way. I didn't have a positive outlook like I do now. And it all started, I'd say, around 2008. And I was busy, with my new business then. And I was, kind of blindsided. My 13-year marriage ended at that time. And, I felt betrayed. I was very hurt, and I was angry about what happened. And, I went through a lot right then. But one of my staff came up to me, and she said, Tim, anger turns into hate, and hate is like a cancer. And just like cancer, you need to catch it quickly so you can get rid of it. You can treat that. And that actually made a lot of sense to me. So I did. I stepped back and I looked at the big picture. And I knew that if I continued being really upset and angry, I was still upset. But if I reeled in the anger and didn't let that go into hate, it was going to be better for my boys. And sure enough, it was. Everything went well after that. I still had a lot of things I had to work out emotionally, and I'll probably do a video just on that. But to this day, my ex and I, we get along fine, and we don't have that bad animosity, So that was a turning point for me. Ever since then, I learned how to take that step back and look at that bigger picture and think, how am I going to get around this? And there's going to be things in your life that hit you that oh, you don't see coming. But if you take a positive look at it, it will it will at least pass. It might not turn out the way that you want it to, but you will get beyond that and look beyond that problem to the other side. It's going to be better, and it will be better. All right, I'm going to share some tips with you that I've written down, and I hope that this will help you in your life. The first one is going to be practicing gratitude. If you really need to, get a journal and write down everything good in your life, anything good that can happen. And that way you can look back and see those things, because a lot of times in your day to day life, those little things that you might write down kind of get lost in the shuffle. The second thing would be surround yourself with positivity. That meaning surround yourself with positive people. And, if you have negative people in your life, you don't necessarily have to get rid of them, but, keep a good distance. And it's, in practice, share that positivity. If you have a friend or a coworker that is really having a hard time, feeling down, say something, tell them something positive. It might not sound a lot, to you at the time, but it might make all the difference in the world to that person. A little encouragement goes a long, long ways. And I practice this with whoever I can, whenever they need it. I do this with my boys, especially my eldest son, and he has some mental health issues that he is working through. He's having a hard time in life. And what I tell him is that things will get better. And they will. At the time, you might not believe that, but they will get better. You will get around that, and things will fall in place. How you get there might be a little sticky, but it will get better. The next thing would be to set realistic goals. Write down what you want to go for, how you want to get there. Make it realistic though. And once you decide on that, be tenacious. Another thing that I've had to learn is tenacity. Don't give up. Just keep fighting for that. It will be worth it in the end. Trust me. And my last tip is going to be learn from your mistakes. And that's a big one. You can actually turn failure into success. It's all about the way you look at it. And going back to my business, when my restaurant failed, body is wearing out, no money. But I'm looking at that as, it's a good thing, because I could be working late in life, hurting so much. Now I have a chance to change directions. I'm doing this YouTube channel. I look at the positive things. I have a property to sell, so we're in the midst of that, and I've been enjoying downsizing. It's really a good thing, especially at my age. Get rid of that junk that you're not using. So all these things have been working out really well for myself and my wife. So to kind of, end the video, the main takeaway I hope you get is to take that step back as much as you need to, and take the time, instead of angry words, think of more positive things to say. Think about working yourself around that problem. And we all have problems. Things will get better. When you're in the moment, it doesn't feel like it. It feels so hopeless, and I've been there. But things do get better, and they have for me. I hope this helped you in some way in your life. I would just ask you to please subscribe. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. and hit that notification bell where I do different types of videos. I thank you very much for watching, and really the main goal of this channel is surviving and thriving as you get older. Thank you for watching.